Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird of the Blackbird Grimoire. Welcome to the daily forecast for Tuesday, April 9th, 2024. Happy Mars Day to you. We are in Aries season. It is the Celtic tree month of Alder. We're Mercury retrograding in Aries. And of course, we now have a waxing moon. So our astrology for today, the sun is in Aries, cardinal fire, representing courage. The moon begins the day void of course. Then at 6:23 a.m. Central Time, it enters first quarter Taurus, fixed their sign representing practicality. So we're having quite a mood shift in our moon from where it was yesterday. Mercury is retrograding in Aries, cardinal fire, representing fiery tempers. Venus is in Aries, cardinal fire, representing impulsiveness. Mars is in Pisces, mutable water, representing curiosity. Jupiter is in Taurus, fixed earth, representing practicality. Saturn is in Pisces, mutable water, representing nostalgia. Uranus is in Taurus, a fixed earth sign representing renovation. Neptune is in Pisces, mutable water sign representing imagination. Pluto is in Aquarius, a fixed air sign representing reformation. And don't forget your Mercury retrograde mantra: rethink, revise, redo. So we are now in a waxing crescent. So think creativity, plans of action, and communication. And as it is a Taurus moon, some of your dues are to practice groundedness, embrace realism, and reject distraction. But some of your don'ts are attempting to convert other people to your point of view, being too hasty in your actions, and having to improvise. Not what the Taurus moon really thrives on. So the energetic aftershocks of yesterday's eclipse might be still felt today. Don't fight it. Just wait. Just weather that and the jolts, and wait until things just settle a little bit before you are completely unleashing the rest of your frustrations. Observe, contemplate, and then take action when the time is right for it. Don't take action out of a sense of need for emotional release or satisfaction. Try to adopt a little bit more of a rational approach, and it will feel better, and that'll also give time for your feelings to settle. And again, other people, they might have come through the eclipse just fine. Nothing really remarkable happened. It was a cool shift of energy, and that was just the sum total of it. Other people, they may have had a little bit more up close and personal effects of it. So whatever your situation is, just allow this to settle down. Our tarot card for today is the Two of Stones, representing challenges, when we've got two boxing bunnies there. Things for you to cultivate would be awareness, self-control, valuing substance over form. And of course, the challenge is to keep your emotions in check. And this feels very much on theme with what we are seeing in our astrological outlook today. If you just keep it down, temper it down just a little bit. And yes, you might be fighting against your own instincts today, and I get that. I have a Scorpio moon, so I can definitely lose it. So I am not speaking from a sense of misplaced superiority here. Just that we will have better outcomes if we just exercise some self-control. Again, breathe deeply. Let it out slowly. Don't let emotions be the driving factor for your decisions today. Now, our Celtic triad for today reads, there are three people accursed: they who work against the laws of nature without concern, they who know nothing of the mighty ones and do not seek to learn, and they who know much and do not share their knowledge with any other. Got some weighty stuff here. So an attitude of being anti-nature. That reminds me of the hubris of the character Dr. Frankenstein, which if you're not familiar with Dr. Frankenstein, I suggest you begin watching the old black and white movies. Read the book by Mary Wollstonecraft, and just get acquainted with this. Try to get inside of his mind, because it's someone who decided that how things were in the natural order didn't suit him. He was going to improve it in some way. He was going to defeat death itself. And it didn't work out very well. It did not work out well at all. And that's what happens when we seek to find ways around the natural order, when we try to find shortcuts, when we try to defy it and defeat it. Nature always wins. 1,000% of the time, but you can bring a great deal of suffering upon yourself and others the more you try to go against that natural order. Then an attitude of anti-divinity. This isn't to be confused with atheism, which simply does not believe. That's very neutral. It's not any deeper than that. As much as some people on Twitter try to make it deeper than that, it's just a state of they don't believe, they are not convinced, and that's all there is to it. But anti-divinity, that is a hatred of theism itself. It's a hatred of the idea of spirituality and trying to reach out to something beyond yourself that you can't always see. Um, those are the people who know nothing of the mighty ones, who do not seek to learn. And that is not a good state of affairs. The reason why the gods are more active, it's not only because more people are listening, it's because I think they see the state of the world. They see what all these years of monotheism and various political theories have done to people. Just to people itself, and it isn't good. I think they are being very active because they're trying to help us shift things onto a better pathway, especially over a period of time. And of course, people who have a hatred of the gods, they're not going to be able to participate in that process. And of course, again, that's bringing trouble upon yourself, wreaking havoc upon other people, especially if they are successful in persuading others to share their anti-divinity attitudes. And then we have knowledgeable misery, someone who fails to pass on anything of value. You could have the most profound knowledge, you could have the greatest of wisdom. If you are not sharing that and handing it down to where it can actually be beneficial, then what was the point of any of it? You haven't proved your superiority. You haven't done anything. You are hoarding it like a dragon hoards its gold. And and to what effect? It's just sitting there. It's rotting. It's dusty. It becomes worthless. And that's a terrifying thing because we're all pursuers of knowledge and wisdom in this path. So the idea that we could do it in such a way that we could render all of that effort worthless, that should be terrifying. So obviously, this is another example of behaviors we do well to avoid. Next slide, we have our magical intention of the day, which is calm. I think most people could probably use a little bit of calm today. The color is white. The plant is angelica. The animal is the koala. And I found the cutest picture of a koala I could possibly find. And the stone is white quartz. And we talk about attaining calm, this is very much a process of subjecting anxiety to your will. This will be particularly relevant for witches and wizards out there because the core nature of our work is subjecting energy to our will. So when we're not getting the results we think we want, we have to look in the mirror and say, okay, is that actually what I'm directing my willpower towards? Am I actually working towards that, or am I lingering? Am I wallowing in the high drama? Is this something that I personally need to work on? Am I not actually doing anything to overcome it? A serious thing, because if we lie to ourselves about our motivations, our intentions, and what we're actually doing, that compromises our ability to practice our craft. Apologies for the latest crash if you could hear it. The cats are apparently very feisty today. Usually they're napping, which is why I sat down to record, but they're awake, and I guess you guys get to hear that too. So today's daily practices, I think this would be a good moment to cleanse your personal energy and the energy of your home, or the energy of your work if you can do it discreetly. There's probably some gunk in the atmosphere because even if you came through everything all right, there's probably plenty of other people who had a somewhat different reaction than you did. So you don't want any of that stuff getting attached to you or lingering around. Get it away. You might research a topic of special interest. You shouldn't, not necessarily you're learning about this for this reason or because you have to or you need to or anything else. It could be the most random thing ever, but it just tickles you. And just look into that today. Again, this isn't so much of researching with purpose as it is researching to satisfy your curiosity. And again, it's another way of detaching yourself from any overwrought energy you may encounter. Tidy up any loose ends. That's good advice for the retrograde period in general. And also to tidy up to ward against agitation. I think there's a lot to be said for an orderly environment, reflecting an orderly mind, or at least a mind that is being brought into order. So And sometimes I'm not going to say that it works 100% of the time, but I do think that if you are in an untidy space or a chaotic space and you're feeling really jumbled in your mind, I think your environment can make that sense of jumbling worse. And just as there's something about putting things away, cleaning, just getting everything just so, it has a way of calming the mind. So if your own energy is a bit hyped up today, this is something you could try. And I think this is also a good day to pamper your pets, especially if you have cats. I found out a few years ago that supposedly cats have their chakras that rotate in the opposite direction of ours. So when you pet them and you love on them, they are actually siphoning off some of your agitated energy, calming you, calming them, and creating this really nice. Positive feedback loop. So, something to think about, particularly if you're having difficulty managing. All right. Next slide, if it cooperates. There we go. Our Fae of the day is the Undine. And for your journal prompt, I'm asking the question of what wisdom do you think an Undine could teach you? That'd be interesting to contemplate. And if you don't know very much about Undines, this is your opportunity to learn a bit more about them. Do some reading, do some research, watch some videos. I'm sure there's someone on YouTube who has gone pretty deep into the subject of Undines. So definitely look into this stuff to inform your answer to that question. But that is what I have for you today. Come back tomorrow for another edition of the Daily Forecast. Let me know what you thought of this one in the comments section below, or send me an email, brigantiablackbird@protonmail.com, and we can have a discussion there. But that'll do it for now, and I will see you guys later. Bye.